This is a previously recorded episode of the ITintheD show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Following program is intended for mature audiences.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
You're listening to the ITintheD show.
Just where do you guys think you are? The Library of Congress? Detroit? Beyond the sun?
Any of those right?
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
I used to hang out at the Magumbo Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It's worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
I did, you IT geeks. This is Dre DeMatteo from Sons of Anarchy. You are listening to ITintheD.
So what happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole?
Exactly. Come on. Someone tries. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the ITintheD show.
Hi, this is Ralph Macchio, and you're listening to ITintheD show. Wax on, you know what.
So you have no boots.
No.
You have no gloves.
No.
You have no hat.
No.
You have no scarf.
No.
You have no scraper.
No.
How long have you lived in Michigan?
All my life.
You, sir, are an idiot.
I don't care.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to ITintheD show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, John Kreese from the Karate Kid movie, and you're listening to ITintheD.
Yes, Sensei!
Are we at a break yet?
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to ITintheD. All you nerds out there.
Nerds!
Nerds.
Nerds!
What is a nerd?
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. The ITintheD show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You're in your underwear? I'm in my underwear. Hey, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men. I'm a techie. I'm a nerd, fellow podcaster. My favorite podcast is ITintheD.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
It's just too big. It's way too big.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
This is Robert Hayes, a tit striker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo Bar, I'm listening to the ITintheD show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat steak.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the ITintheD show. Tough guy. Ho!
My name is Michael Zapsik from AMC's Comic Book Man. You're listening to ITintheD.com.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
Live from Podcast Detroit, this is the ITintheD show. We have made it all the way to episode 128. We are sitting here in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob, the sales guy, always here with Dave the Geek, Nuri, the FNG. Find us online, ITintheD.com. Give us a like on the Facebook. Follow us on the Twitters. And you guys have been awesome leaving us.
Still loving those reviews.
iTunes reviews. Keep them coming because we've been ignoring them all this time, and we figured out that we shouldn't be. So if you are an Apple user, or even if you're not, give us a review on iTunes. We would greatly appreciate it because they do the stupid algorithms based on reviews. It's like we won't list your restaurant on Yelp unless you get 47 reviews. So that's how iTunes works. It's ridiculous. Absolutely.
Well, no, they'll list us. They won't just list us in the new and ones you should check out.
Whatever.
You Apple, I bite me.
So we just had an awesome event downtown oh my God, Firebird. And mark your calendar.
I'm sorry, did you just pull a Shatner?
I totally did.
Had an awesome event at Firebird.
Mark your calendars on February 18th. We're going to be back in Royal Oak at the Hamlin Corner. Hopefully we will see you there. Awesome Pack Studio. Tonight we have the lovely and talented Victoria Katansky here from Hatch, Detroit. She's going to be talking about the Paczki run that's coming up on Lent this year on Fat Tuesday.
Wait, so I can run and eat delicious fried treats? Oh,
yes,
shit.
We're gonna dive into that in segment 2.
You carb up with an 18,000 calorie donut and then run.
Where do I sign up?
Because you have to. And then we also have a repeat offender, I believe. Scott, you've been on before. Scott Kennedy's in the house talking all things Penguicon, one of our favorite subjects. Yes. And cannot wait for that discussion.
This year's going to be excellent.
Oh, it's gonna get blown up and going over the top. So yeah, we had an interesting experience last night, and Dave said I got tickets for William Shatner. And I said, great.
Doing what?
Doing what? What is he going to be doing? He's like, I don't know. Like, well, we need to go.
The extent of what I know is that William Shatner is live at Soundboard, and we have, I believe, front row tickets for it.
So I've been to like the Kevin Smith thing where he told stories for 4 hours. So I'm like, I didn't know if he was going to be like doing spoken word, if he's going to be reading Shakespeare. Like, what the hell is Shatner going to be doing? Pretty much he did that and then some, and talked about told bad
horses getting hand jobs.
Yeah,
and
I about spit my beer at that point. Actually,
and whatever feud is going on with him and George Takei
and his Jewish mother telling jokes and
some of the best jokes though. I mean, those were absolutely terrible. I'm like, yes.
Well, the called the suicide hotline, and they transferred him to Pakistan. He said, "Oh, so you're suicidal? Yeah. Can you drive a truck?" And I was like, "Oh, come on, Bill. Come on, Bill."
That was actually a groan followed by a hysterical laughter.
Oh yeah. The why do Jewish women love wonton soup? Because spelled backwards, it's not now.
But
Shatner's words, not ours. Just to be clear.
And everyone says, "Well, he's 84 years old. Why is he doing it?" And I kind of had this thought, and tell me if I'm wrong. Is you think about it, and this is he went from day one and basically went through his life's work.
Which I had no idea he was part of famous Shakespeare companies and how his Broadway career progressed. And
let's take a step back, because there was that one creepy moment where apparently so Star Trek had ended and he's broke. And, so it's circa 1969 because it's the landing on the moon, and he's living out of his car or pickup truck with a trailer on the back of it. And he's out in the middle of nowhere, and this little boy comes up and knocks on his trailer door, and he opens the door, and he's like, "Wow, you're Captain Kirk." And he was apparently still bitter about being Captain Kirk at that point because he was broke. He's like, yeah, I'm Captain Kirk. And he's like, well,
get off my lawn.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, well, is this your spaceship? And he thinks about it, and he's like, well, to the kid who just saw the moon landing, the lunar module has 4 legs. The camper's got 4 legs.
Both are made out of aluminum.
Yeah, sure, kid. This is my spaceship. And invites the little boy into his trailer.
And then says he steers the thing with his range. He's twisting the knobs on his stove.
Right. So yeah, in 19 whatever that was, I'm sure that was fine. In 2016, Chris Hansen would have appeared out of nowhere, going, "Why don't you have a seat?"
Yeah.
Have a seat. Where were there? I make some cookies.
But I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say I had no expectations. I just didn't know what to expect.
But at the
that
same
was going to be walking
He
in.
didn't sing Rocket Man.
He didn't, but our first break will.
Thank you.
Long time. But at the same time, I didn't care what he was going to do. You guys said, I've got front row seats to William Shatner. I'm like, what am I doing Sunday night? My wife and I have plans. I'm like, I don't care what my plans are on Sunday night. I'm going to see William Shatner. And so, of course,
honey, I love you, but front row Shatner.
So if he's coming to a city near you, I highly recommend. I mean, it was so worth it.
But the biggest surprise, no merch table.
Nothing.
How do you, William Shatner, not have a merch table?
He's not alive enough to receive the benefits afterwards.
Dude,
he's got kids. He's got 3 kids.
We would have bought everything.
The music they were playing.
They don't have the rights to that crap anymore.
No, music.
It's him. His music, dude. If you've never heard Shatner sing, I'm not going to say it's.
I wouldn't call it singing, Dave.
It's true. If you've never heard him perform over music, it's like stoners around the world. I'm convinced love this stuff.
It's tranquil. It's
the sound of doves.
It's weird music.
This is what it sounds like when doves cry. Absolutely. That's.
Why do you just leave me standing? Sorry.
Alone in a world so cold.
Oh.
But no, I mean it was a good event. I mean it was at Soundboard last night. Phenomenal venue. Loved. I did. I mean there were a couple of times where I checked my watch because I was like, yeah, the story's getting a little long. But all in all, like you said, you know what? If Shatner's if Shatner's World, that's what the show is called, is coming to a town near you, you should absolutely go because it was engaging.
And let me switch gears real quick, Dave, because I'm angry right now. And
like Godfather angry or just angry?
Yeah, actually, it kind of.
All right, so give me
medium.
All right,
Facebook,
medium tempo Godfather.
Not saying Facebook's a big part of my life, but yeah, I check it a couple times a day, and it's becoming Facebook is becoming unusable. It's becoming utter and pure, unadulterated shit.
Do you hate stick figures, Bob?
I do not want to be like Bill. I don't care if you like dogs. I don't care if you like cats. I don't care if you talk to people. I don't want to be like you. I want to not be like you.
You want to be the opposite of the what was it? The Jungle Book.
No, I don't want to
be like you.
I want to do what I want to do, and your meme's not going to tell me what to do.
It's your prerogative.
Yes, I'm going to do what I want to do. You're a stupid meme. You're not going to change my mind.
And everyone did it, and people never learn. It's scanning your profile and all of your friends' profiles. You give it access to so much crap. Stop it!
You open up Pintos, and like the third time down, I saw like three guys who were smart, or I consider smart, were like, I hope you're happy you just gave them all your things.
Yeah.
Like this, whatever company.
Remember a year ago when you were ranting about Messenger and the permissions that it had? Yeah, you just gave more to that app,
and you did it because it's fun.
Yeah,
I'm like Bill,
and it's a goddamn stick figure. We're not talking about anything. This is a.
Yeah.
How can we do the same thing, guys?
Right. How can we get all of the information?
No,
you
put up more profit.
Put a bad math together that all the poor people are going to get $1.33 million, and it'll cure.
But you have to accept the app's permissions to get the $1.33 million.
Right.
All right.
Because to get everyone $1 million, you only need 300 trillion. We can do this.
I wonder what that cost, or what
we can start a GoFundMe.
Kickstarter.
What is each person's information worth? If I'm like some scammer piece of shit company, what's that worth to me?
It's like $60
per person.
Yeah, I saw like the Russian mafia, whatever the Russian mafia pays for like information, like bank accounts, or like I think like $80 because they go away quick. There's a whole long laundry list of like medical records. I think is the most at like $240.
So we can put a stick figure up with some like crappy text in it, and we can make $60 per person.
Yeah.
To charge it.
Yeah.
Why are we still sitting here?
Because we don't live in Russia. It's just Russia.
See, again, we need to stop having morals and scruples and all those things.
What are scruples? I thought that was like
a board game. No, but I have my own rant, and I am reactivating the Godfather music for this one because sons of bitches, Fox 2, Fox Network, kiss my ass. You want to know why you're losing market share to the Hulus, to the Netflixes, to the all of the YouTubes and the torrentses and the interwebs of the world? Last night is a prime example, and this is why you keep shooting yourself in the foot. You spend months sucking me and all of the people like me in. Because
Scully and months sucking you? What? You forgot that.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Sculder and Mully are coming back.
Sculder and Mully.
Scully and Mulder are coming back. It's the return of the X-Files, and it's the conspiracies are coming back, and it's everything you needed. Yeah, we've waited years and years and years since it went off the air. There's been the movie, but they're coming back. And what happens? Because it's yesterday. And it's January, and it's a Sunday. So what happens in January on Sundays, Bob?
Football.
Bob orders wings and
sit on my couch and do nothing.
And these sons of bitches
with no pants on.
The game ends. So I when I'm going through and I'm setting up the recording, I know it's football and bad things are going to happen. And so I give it a half an hour buffer. So we go to Shatner last night. I get home from Shatner last night. I'm like, all right, I'm all set. I'm geared up. I'm watching the X-Files. I go to the TiVo. I get X-Files. Go. And it starts at 10 and there's still football on the screen when I start it. I'm like, all right, the end of the game, no big deal. It was already in post-game, and I hit fast forward. And at 5 minutes, it's still football. And then at 10 minutes, it's still football. And then at 20 minutes, it's still effing football.
Tom, here's the place where Jesus actually reached down from the sky, grabbed the football, and helped it go through the goalpost. Let's see that again.
So 28 minutes in, X-Files is supposed to start at 10 o'clock. At 10:28, the X-Files finally starts. So were it not for me knowing the networks are going to try to screw me and adding that half-hour buffer, I would have watched 28 minutes. I would have caught 32 minutes of the X-Files. I would have caught from 10:28 to 11 o'clock because that's how DVRs work. DVRs don't flex for real time because, well, they're just computers. They don't know what the hell's going on. They just know you told them to turn on and record at 10 o'clock. So what is Facebook and Twitter and everybody all like ranting about today? I missed the last half hour of the X-Files episode, the premiere, the thing I've waited for years and years and years. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker.
So to speak.
Part 2 is tonight. So which is over now. So if you're not listening to us, you have no excuse because it was 8 to 9 o'clock.
I'm already downloading episode 2 right now from
So part 2 is tonight. So you missed the. What are you going to do? You're going to watch the first half of part 1, miss really everything about part 1, and then watch part 2 of the setup tonight? This is why you fail, Fox. This is why network TV is a dying beast, because you toy with us and you don't get it and you don't understand that I want to watch. When you tell me it's on at 10 o'clock, have it on at 10 o'clock. Put the post-game shit on Fox Sports 9, where the women's table tennis intramural Midwest regional finals is going on. Put it there. That's all I care about.
It's not like when we were kids, when you knew Friday, 8 o'clock, the A-team was on, and you raced.
You sat your ass, you pedaled your butt, you pedaled your ass home on your bike.
You knew it was
Yeah, you watched,
A-team and then Miami Vice, and it was the greatest night of your life. Or Knight Rider, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A-team Knight Rider, greatest night of your life. And yeah, it was must-see TV. You had to be home for it. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
No.
None of it. That's not how any of this works anymore.
And I mean, the Fox executives, they're probably like, what, the 65-year-old, that we put it on we yell,
If we put it on Fox 9, they won't. Who cares?
Who watches postgame on football? As a football fan, I watch the end of the game and then I move along with the rest of my life.
Actually, all the grandfathers who have fallen asleep during the football game watch the postgame, and I think that's
exactly.
Yeah.
That's like it's so really like that's the part that kills me is like you would rather have 28 minutes of let's watch him catch that ball again, Bob. Hey Jimmy, let's go to that run where the guy fell down. He apparently tripped over the 34-yard line.
Hang on, I didn't follow it that closely today. Did they do anything to like say, hey, it's going to be up on Hulu today to catch up on it? I was sorry.
Nah.
Did they nothing?
Nah.
Bastards.
Dicks.
You know what sucks too? That last half hour set up.
It set up all of the things.
The first 30 minutes sucked. It was like, all right, we're getting the team back together, and then it's like story arc, and holy shit.
Yeah, because I'm not going to lie. You know what? If you didn't watch it, just tune out for like the next couple seconds because
let's give everyone like a 30-second like tune out.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Hey, Alien DNA.
Okay.
So, phenomenal episode. I'm not going to lie. I was a little worried. Like, I watched the little half-hour teaser trailer they had, and like they brought Chris Carter's back, and they brought like some of the writers back, and it's only 6 episodes?
I thought it was like 12.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a short arc that they're going through. They killed it last night. I was right back in. Like I loved the the flashbacks to Roswell, and I loved the setup with maybe it's not aliens, maybe it's a human conspiracy, maybe ridiculous. I'm just so happy,
and the amount of action, like when the secret shadowy organization came in and blew up the spaceship. I'm like, holy shit, this thing's on fire already. Out of the gate, it's like kapow.
Yeah, they wasted no time.
None.
Just when I thought I was out, you pulled me back.
And then the cigarette smoking man at the end, smoking through his tracheotomy.
Because, you remember the last one, he's not supposed to be alive.
He's not.
And now,
but
there he is.
Skin condition. Did you see it, like on his...
That's the burns from the explosion. That's why he's not supposed to be alive. I'm not gonna lie. Smoking through the trauma, smoking through through the hole in his. Gotta love that.
We have a problem. They've reopened the X-Files.
They've reopened the X-Files, and away we go. So yeah, the X-Files is back. I'm all over it. I'm not gonna lie.
Now you're caught up. Watch episode 2.
Right. When I leave here tonight, going home to watch episode 2. Life's good.
So a couple of great stories. Then we started a little bit late, so we'll
ramble.
We'll try to get back on time. The most genius capitalist of probably modern era. I discovered it. We discovered him today within minutes of each other.
Oh,
so the East Coast the East Coast is getting bombarded with snow. Right, it's Snowmageddon. Dogs and cats living together. We're all going to die. So what does this one guy do? He can't go to work. He can't do anything. So he builds this humongous igloo. And then he lists said igloo on Airbnb.
Wait. Can I have a gigantic party at this igloo for New Year's Eve?
I'm sure.
And it just trashes out of the place.
So there'll be a bonfire?
Did you catch that story? Because I love the Airbnb stories. There was yet another story that broke today.
There's another one?
About the couple that, like, here's how bad this was. They get married on New Year's Eve. Forgot to turn... We talked about this. There were like 3 weddings going on at the hotel we were at. But no, so New Year's Eve, they forgot to turn off their Airbnb listing for their house, and so like someone booked it. And they reached out. They were like, "Hey, we forgot to turn this off. It's actually our wedding night. We're really, really sorry, but probably not." And then they'd be like, "Well, but it's last minute. It's New Year's Eve. I swear to God, we're chill. It's just going to be us. We just wanted a place to hang out outside of our house. Life's good." So couple gets married, goes to the reception, comes home. Things are relatively okay. Apparently then, and I want to make sure I get this quote right, I believe the exact phrase was Coke-fueled orgy started happening in their living room, where the people that were going to be chill apparently invited some friends back from a club.
Who were also chill.
Who were also chill completely.
Netflixing first.
And my favorite quote from that story was that they had to get rid of the carpet because it was so matted because of fluids that they were never going to be able to set foot on it again. That's. But again, you rent your house out to total strangers. Why? Bob, did you ever go to a hotel party?
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever rent a hotel room just to like screw around, dick around in it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why would you ever rent your house out to strangers?
God, no. That's the hotel room is where you clip your toenails.
It's where you do stuff in one bed and sleep in the other.
Right, exactly.
All the towels end up in the tub. Yeah.
Yeah, it floored me. I gotta lie. I'm not gonna lie. I have no sympathy for the Airbnb people that get their houses destroyed because you're renting your house out to total strangers.
I hear Bill doesn't rent his house out on Airbnb. Be more like Bill.
Be more like Bill.
You suck. And then one of the best sites that you've uncovered, Dave, was apparently this was supposed to be 65 rules for being a man, according to elevator gossip at Goldman Sachs.
Yep.
Yeah, so here's where it gets funny. The listings are great, and I've seen almost all of these somewhere before. So what happens is a story comes out on entrepreneur.com. Entrepreneur. That basically says Goldman Sachs management put a gag order. They found out about this website, which is fake. If you went through it, you saw every third Twitter listing was selling a book or something. So you knew it was bullshit. But the one-liners were brilliant. It was fun. It was a great read. And they put a gag order on elevator discussions because there must be a mole in our office building that's listening. But then it comes out it's fake, and now you can talk again in the Goldman Sachs elevators.
Right. Who the hell talks in an elevator anyway when you're
no one?
Comfortable? No, it's weird.
And it was dumb stuff like Under Armour is the Walmart of gym clothes. It was stuff like you roll your ties up and put them in a drawer. Don't hang them. Like it was like stupid tips.
Some good ones.
There were some great ones.
Always carry cash. Keep some in your front pocket. That kind of stuff. Know how to order a bottle of wine.
Stop talking about where you went to college.
Oh, for the love of God, yes.
No one cares if you're offended, so stop it.
Yeah,
my personal favorite.
You never date it next to your friend. You'll regret your tattoos.
Find a Times New Roman in the streets and a wing-ding in the sheets.
I love that one. That was number 35, right?
Right.
Because I remembered when I was again number 35 for the win.
This one tip will make you chuckle.
That's what I look for in women: incomprehensibility.
There's good ones and there's dumb ones.
Hold up. Boy.
Not that hard to find.
No.
So on the things that suck front, I did. There were two that came to mind. One, banks made $5.1 billion with a B dollars on overdraft fees last year.
Kiss my ass,
so
all of you.
Let's put that in context. Banks made $5.1 billion with a B dollars off of people who didn't have enough money to start with.
Kiss my ass, all of you.
What's funny that if you take that number and divide it by the U.S. population, it works out to being $25 for every adult in the U.S.
Yeah.
When was the last time you guys overdrew your account though? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Recently, there's it's funny when you deposit a check, it'll show up in 7 to 10 days.
Sure.
When you write it, when you write a check, it'll take it instantaneously. Now. Right. So there was with Comerica, and I'm a debit card junkie. I use it at 7-Eleven, coffee, whatever.
Which is why you went through 13 of them last year.
Correct. Which is fine. It's fine. But I went. They charged me 11 NSFs because I do bills on auto draft, right, and then 8-9 things. Then here's where it gets dumb. All of a sudden now I got nothing. Then they charged me 2 days later. They charged me another one until the check finally cleared, which was 10 days later.
Jesus.
And it was what? So you have it you have the dollars in your possession.
The top line said yes. The bottom line said no. They charged me 11 NSL. And I was a customer with Comerica since I was 14. It was my first checking account.
You call them in bitch? Because I would have. I'd be like, hey guys, this is what happened.
Nope. We talked about this last
Way
time.
Easier for me.
Not about Comerica when I'm in the house. Remember that.
It was
because they do wonderful things.
They
Sorry,
are.
You can't manage your checkbook.
But it's no, he happens to be with that one bank. It's all banks.
Let's talk about all banks.
No, it is all banks.
Okay.
So average overdraft fee is $34. So 34 times 12 works out to be a lot of money.
Dude, that's ridiculous. So then, but not only that. Okay, so other suckage. So the M1 rail. Everyone's excited about the M1 rail.
Nobody's excited about the M1 rail.
It's going to come downtown. It's going to revitalize things.
It's not.
It's going to bring all the suburbanites down.
No, it won't.
From New Center to the Rensen. It's going to be awesome.
No, it won't.
But it's only going to run till 10 o'clock.
So,
how do you have...
Have you been on a bus, though?
But 10 o'clock.
Hockey games
Have you been on a bus?
No.
They don't do that.
Don't do that.
They do not. They're not much later.
No, but Dave,
I remember Super Bowl. I took a bus home. We were totally excited about it. It was yeah. I had to be on that by midnight if I was going to get home.
But 10 o'clock.
But that was Super Bowl extended hours.
You would think, yeah.
Let's say we go to a hockey game and we go to Hopcat. We park near Wayne State. We go to Hopcat,
right?
And then we take the M1 trail or whatever, the Rocket Trail, whatever it's going to be.
Rocket Trail.
Yeah, the Rocket Train. And then the game's over at 10:30.
Yeah.
And we get what do we do? Uber. Back to our parked car that we took the bus to train to
wonder
go.
If Uber is paying them to shut down early.
No, what did I have to do today? Uber.
If this was
like them.
If this was a Hollywood musical, it would be called A Streetcar Named A Lot to Be Desired.
That was awful.
He's been holding on to that one for a while.
So I do agree with you
feel better now?
100% about the timing.
Oh my God!
Later.
So, one last one because Bob, we're both at about this age where it's supposed to matter to us. So they always tell you, once you hit a certain age, you should start getting the camera.
Colonoscopy.
Yes, you should.
Oh,
say
yeah.
it.
Why'd that come so quickly?
You're missing the gesture here, the thrusting of the fingers,
the camera
upwards.
Yeah, and it's all fun and games until you read the story where 293 people at a local hospital were exposed to either or and HIV and hepatitis because of improperly sterilized colonoscopy equipment.
You know the difference between oral and anal thermometers?
The taste?
Taste, yeah.
But yeah, 293 people are now like awaiting test results, and not just their colonoscopy test results. They're awaiting their test results to find out if they have HIV or Hep because of improperly sterilized medical equipment.
See, the problem is guys like our age have seen Fletch too many times. And River. You know, you're supposed to buy me dinner first, doc. You know, so like, yeah, I got in trouble. Like, I almost got thrown out of my doctor's office for that one. Like, I did the whole, aren't you supposed to buy me dinner first? And I'm like, I completely battle anxiety with comedy. And it wasn't funny.
Don't we all?
And I thought it was the funniest shit I was saying ever. Like I was Rodney Dangerfield on point. And I like
he's heard it all before.
No, and then she drops the
wait, she?
Yeah.
It's called the colonoscope, by the way.
She goes, I can bring in the male doctor, and he's got like twice as big of hands than I do. If you want to keep going down this route, or do you want to keep your mouth shut?
Jesus.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah,
sorry, man.
Sorry, not sorry. Sorry. So no, not sorry. So can we go to a break now? We're going to be joined segment 2
by Bob's Colon.
Victoria Katansky from Hatch Detroit, the Paczki Run, Tour Detroit. She's got a whole bunch of good stuff going on. This is the IT in the D show, and we'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, this is John Snyder from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland, Secret Lives of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D show.
ITintheD.com.
Packed my bags last night, pre-flight.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D show.
Welcome back, segment 2, episode 128. This is the IT in the D show, and we are live here in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy here with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find us out online, ITintheD.com, and do us a favor. There's a Learn tab on IT in the D. We want to basically throw a middle finger up to all the training companies charging way too much money. For $29, we will give you all the curriculum you need to get your A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, CompTIA certs,
your associate's degree,
Microsoft, Cisco,
certified ethical hacker, totally,
and all of the above for $29 a year. If you
not per class, not per day,
not per month. No.
So if you are a philosophy major or studying Vietnamese studies at a university, you might want to take a look at this.
Ancient Egyptian philosophy,
right? Sanskrit,
weaving.
But yeah, if you go to the ITintheD.com/learn, all the information is right up on top. We don't know how long they're going to let us do this, so take advantage of it. All of us have taken a look. The curriculum's solid. It's being used all over the country in more places than we'd like to admit.
Yep.
And it's hopefully, and we're working with a few folks downtown. We're hoping to get meetups scheduled so we can build a little community around everybody learning, just so they're not on their own. But it's definitely a cool thing, and hopefully more people take advantage of it.
Yeah.
I know somebody who needs that. I'm going to send them a message right now.
There you go.
Yeah, and we there's a blog if you want to look at IT in the D and look up the path. We pretty much plotted out of, hey, we get the question all the time. I'm new to IT. Where do I start? This is a lot of shit. And the path will kind of walk you through.
Here's where you start. This is what you do.
Here's where you start, and here's what you figure out, and here's where you end up. And the ending up is all on you. The start is this. So it's pretty simple. But yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So we are joined. I can't believe you made it across 8 Mile. We're so lucky and privileged to have you here in our beautiful new Ferndale studios. Victoria Katansky's in the house from Hatch Detroit.
She keeps looking out the window at 8 Mile.
I want to make sure it's still there. Thank God.
We're not far away. We're stone's throw from 8 Mile.
Still there.
But you're part of the
beautiful.
Hatch Detroit team. You're part of the Tour Detroit. You're now part of a new thing. Is this a new thing, the Paczki Run?
No, it actually is So there's 2 organizations, Hatch Detroit, which we have an exciting event in coming up on Wednesday. And then there's the Tour Detroit, which is another organization that I started out like as a volunteer, and then I'm very lucky to be able to have 2 boards that understand how my 2 interests kind of flow together. And we have a Paczki run coming up for the Tour Detroit. So the Tour Detroit is how we call ourselves. And we have 5 events a year. And one of those events is the Paczki Run coming up on February 6th.
Is it like a guilt thing because you're eating like 1,000-calorie donut?
I wanted to do the math on that, and I actually changed the math if you saw my Facebook post. Because everything I did, I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good. Like, no one's going to do this run. You're actually at least 300 calories over.
You could run a couple miles and still be over. Sorry.
But I think about it like, how do you deal with doing the turkey trot? The turkey trot's like 1,200 to 1,400 calories. You only burn maybe 700. So our net gain's better.
Do turkey trot people actually even eat turkey?
Yes, I've run the turkey trot consistently for 22 years.
Wow. Nice.
Every day.
I ran one in Livonia once, and there was no turkey. It was like
one does not simply eat 1 Paczki, though. That's the problem.
Again, no dimmer switch. On, off.
You need Bavarian cream, and you need the raspberry.
And that's a really good point. We have a great group of volunteers that the first year we did this is our 4th year. The first year I was like adamant with the volunteers. You do not give choices. But the volunteers...
That was my favorite. That was my favorite meme I ever did with Scarface. It says first you get the Paczki, then you get the power, and it's him with the powder all over his mouth. I'm like, this is the best meme I think I've ever.
Oh no, they set him up in Joseph Campo, and I said no choices for anyone. Listen to me. I asked them to respond, and then the first couple runners came through, and they're like, "Would you like a cherry? Would you like chocolate?
Yes.
Would you?"
Yes.
And the runners loved it.
Yes.
So our volunteers like. I can be militant, but they give the people what they want.
So walk me through the process. So the Paczki run, you're getting.
So you're hitting out Paczkis while people are running?
Oh, damn! You guys aren't runners.
We look like runners.
Are there wild Dobermans behind us currently?
Right.
No, we're not running.
It's the hounds.
Is there anyone chasing us?
Well, actually, there's beer involved as well. Well, maybe
now we're intrigued.
Now I know.
It's just a 5K, which 5K is like 3.1 miles, so it's not a long.
I know. You haven't. Yes.
Yeah.
So we start on Joseph Campo in the middle of the street, which is really actually amazing because. Joseph Campo's huge, and how often do you close off that big of a street?
Labor Day.
And Labor Day is true.
So every year.
2 times a year.
Yeah.
So we have a winding path. We've actually worked with the city of Hamtramck about how they want to portray their city, and we don't have an out and back. We have a winding path, 3.1 miles. We end up on the same street. So like the minute the guys leave and the people leave, the first runner gets back. It's hard to imagine.
Right.
15 minutes later. So 3 miles in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So we have to, our volunteers have to take all of the Paczkis, and we have 2,300 Paczkis.
And then 3 hours later, here comes Bob.
And
in his
put them in the street, organize them by flavor, and then these people come back. So normally in a run, you get a water and like a bagel.
The banana and like a little jacket. And
then there's a beer on the other side.
What was that rollerblading movie, Dave, with Seth Green and like they're in Cincinnati where they did the death run at the end, Airborne? Where like I'll be the guy getting dropped off by a pickup truck about an hour later after everyone.
You'll be the woman that they figured out cheated the Boston Marathon because she took the subway.
Her name was. She was a famous.
Yeah.
Her name. Yeah. What was her name?
Not a clue.
God, I remember that though. I'll think of it.
So there's beer at the end though.
Beer at the end.
So, but it ends on. But Bob, so it ends on the same street. So here's what you do: you line up for the start, and then just walk the 800 feet to where the end is.
Oh, it's
and suddenly Bob's the winner.
Forget all that. It's like golf.
We
I like
never
driving ranges.
figure that one out.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you.
I like driving ranges. I like putt-putt. That in-between stuff, we got to pick a club. Screw that. I like the start of the run. I like the end of the run. The actual running, not so much. I'll just walk over to the end.
I will tell you, one of my favorite experiences, though, was this woman that was ending the first year. she's finishing and she's like walking her baby, and she's like coming down Joseph Campo, and we have police, fire. Hamtramck is amazing. They work with us on every detail of this event, and so she doesn't see. She's walking towards us, and behind her are like 6 fire trucks with headlights on, police, everybody, and she's just putting her baby down. And she's the last one, and she's just so excited, and she has no idea what's behind her.
That's got to be a great photo.
It was a great photo.
Largest man in the history of the Paczki Run wins the Paczki Run this year. News at 11.
Winning is subjective. Is the winner the one that actually runs the race, or is the winner the one that gets the Paczkis first?
Well, no, you don't get anything if you win. It's not like you get an extra special T-shirt.
Wait, let me guess. There's a shirt?
Of course there's a shirt.
Okay, you guys are so terrible. So first of all, unlike other races,
there's the clip from Victoria that wind up in the intro.
Unlike other races, we allow our people to pick their favorite Paczki, and their shirt coordinates. So if they like prune, they might get a purple. We manage that. That's really difficult.
Are there 80-year-olds running the Paczki Run?
Oh, probably. That's the best Paczki on the planet.
As long as you get it at the end.
Wasn't that Spanish rap? That was Boricua.
And
wow, you impressed
the
with your
other
knowledge.
thing that's amazing is that we really encourage our runners to actually spend the day in Hamtramck. So they do. And they go, our sponsors are pretty much 100% Hamtramck. And they give us, they're really good about endorsing us.
Well, it's not like a day in a Hamtown's a bad day.
It's the best day.
Yeah.
So the bars are amazing. The food is amazing. And so these people, they get a Paczki and a beer, and then they get a whole lot of fun.
Actually, one of my favorite restaurants in the city right now is in Hamtramck.
Which one?
Rock City Eatery.
He's a Hatch guy.
I
love
guy.
him.
The pie guy. His story's
Segue.
even so cooler.
Segue to
cool
Hatch. Can I?
Absolutely.
Can I do this?
So when is Hatch starting this year?
Well,
She just
are
said event
all the
Wednesday.
time.
Okay.
Hatch is all the time, but
Right.
segue to the contest is segue to Hatch means that this Wednesday we are actually partnering with the Detroit Lions on a new neighborhood initiative in the Grand Mountain Rosedale area. And on Wednesday, we have 2 alums from the Lions, Ron Rice and Lomas Brown.
Lomas was just here.
Lomas has been here in the studio. Yeah.
Lomas. Ron, I haven't met you yet. If you're listening to this podcast, I'm so sorry.
You could be an alternate favorite.
We might get along. But Lomas and I love him, and we're doing a coffee pour at Grand Mountain Rosedale. So the first 200 people that show up get free coffee on us and poured by Lomas and Ron. And the beauty is that it just shows what our project is. And the Lions organization is just... I think they've gone unnoticed in the work that they've done with actually putting nonprofits forward, and they've really made us able to make a difference. In
we should have Theo there.
We should.
Yeah, you should.
The guy that does the fight song when he does the show a couple hours before us. When the Lions score touchdown.
Forward down the field.
Yeah. He's here?
Uh-huh. He does a show Monday night, 6 o'clock.
Oh, I'd love to meet him.
Yeah. No, he's a good guy.
Ron, I'm gonna love you too.
So, is submissions still open for this year's Hatch, or what's...
Submissions open for Hatch in April.
Okay, it's usually April, right?
Yeah, and we'll announce our winner in August, and that's coming up. So you're going to have to see me a little bit more. Sorry.
Yay!
Guys. Sorry.
Wah, wah.
We'll bring out Corkscrew this time.
Really, Dave?
I'm in charge of the technology. Bob's in charge of sales. That's
the beauty is that my 2 jobs allow me to give something both, to communities in different ways, and I'm excited. So February 6th.
Well, and so we missed it. Yeah, I was going to say, so when is the Paczki Run?
Yeah,
How do people find out about
February
it,
6th.
register, that kind of stuff?
So it's February 6th. For the Paczki Run, you actually have to register, and it will we allow you to register through the day, but prices, go up.
Right.
How do you spell Paczki? Let's go there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm totally challenging you.
You're challenging me?
I am.
You're German.
I am.
There's no U in that word.
Paczki.
Ah.
With a little
umlaut thingy. Yeah.
over the A, under the A.
Oh, see, she knows.
It's
a Sedilla.
Yeah.
It is.
And what's the singular
No, it's called a
version
Sedilla.
of a punchki?
Oh, don't know that one. Never. Punchek. Oh.
And what is the traditional flavor of a punchki?
Yeah, that one I don't know.
You didn't research this show at all, did
No.
you? Povidwa.
What? Oh, the plum?
Yes.
Bob getting schooled.
Next on Punchki Trivia.
Isn't it enough I married a Polish girl? Like,
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
Lesson learned, don't challenge our guests, Bob.
I lobbed her softball.
Or at least not Victoria.
I lobbed her softball.
Sorry.
Completely lobbed that softball.
No, so where online do they find out? Like, because I'm sure.
Oh,
people
so
are
we're Hatch, or for the Punchki run,
Yes.
it's tour-de-tro.
really have a URL with
Yeah,
two dashes
it's
in
the
it.
old. We did it. Yeah, we did. I don't know how it's going, but we have 20,000 people that get it. But it's tourdetroitoldschool.org.
Okay.
And other than that, like the event for Hatch, you can actually just show up. First 200 people, I almost said 2,000, that would have been crazy. But 200 people get free coffee. And the thing that's really awesome about that is that it's at a local coffee house called Always Brewing.
Okay.
Weirdly and awesomely owned by a woman named Amanda Brewington.
It's one of those things that when you were born, you knew what you were going to go into.
Right? I mean,
Kind of like when you name your daughter Cinnamon, you just know she's going to grow up and be a stripper.
I am Johnny Proctologist.
Yeah.
There's a doctor by where Mark used to live. His last name was Went Urine. And I'm sure you pronounced it Wenturine or something.
Right.
But he's a urologist.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Amanda. That's not what I meant. If you're listening.
No, but that's outstanding. We do. I mean, we've had such great conversations with Hatch over the years, and the contestants and the finalists. They've been some of our most listened to episodes, and it's fun to have them in here and basically kind of have them we're kind of the Gong Show at that point, because for a couple years running now, we know who's winning when they walk out.
Right.
And we haven't been wrong yet.
And the cool thing is, they're still killing it. Everyone that's been in there through it that has won are killing it.
Oh, Sister Pie.
She's killing it.
Batch is what a phenomenal place that is.
But, the thing I love about Hatch Detroit is it's not just the winners. We've actually had 16 now people. And so we're at... Is that your stomach?
I was talking about Hunchkins got my stomach all like, the hell?
Is that wrong to say that? Sorry.
Everyone at home just heard my stomach.
And then
You sound like a medium-sized dog.
Yeah, so we have, Bumbo's in Hamtramck has opened. They're a Hatch alum. So not only our winners, but a lot of our people who have been in the top 10.
Well, because you don't, because, I mean, I guess that's, like you were saying, it's a year-round thing. You don't cut people loose.
No,
when it's over.
really
I mean, you guys perform. You guys do provide a lot of support to not just the winners.
Absolutely.
Are we allowed to apply since we're in the set of 8 Mile?
Yes, you are, as long as your idea is unique and it provides a storefront structure.
I don't know if
we didn't even touch on that in the first segment.
What?
The plan.
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
We're getting that later.
But hatchdetroit.com, right? How else do and then
hatchdetroit.com?
Punchki run
tour.
It's tourdetroit.org.
D dash.
I know it's
underscore
Detroit dot.
We'll put it on the recap and we'll put it on the Twitters.
We'll give you a bit.ly that you can use from now on.
Thank you.
Victoria, always a pleasure
use that?
having you in studio. We look forward to having you back when the Hatch finalists are announced.
Thank you, sir.
And actually before that, if you want, open door policy here.
Well, no, I mean I like it when we have the promotions when the call for submissions opens, because I mean that's I'm stunned that I know you love it when you get flooded with submissions.
It's big for us.
But I mean to me more people need to know about that this there's no. Kind of like when people don't know about us. Like, how do you not know that there's this thing out there, this group that will give you $50,000 and legal support and this and this and this? to open up a retail storefront. I mean, how do people not know? So we should help get that out.
You should.
And there it is. I will write it.
We appreciate it, though.
It
has to happen. So, we have just too much to offer, and
well, it's a great program. I mean, and seriously, some of the finalists we've been a little about, but they all at least have good ideas. They may not have as much business sense as one would hope that somebody hitting that point in a competition, but they've all had good, unique ideas on things that should happen. Maybe not with them at the helm, but they. But they've all had good ideas, and that's whether it was theaters or the toy shop or a restaurant, there's been a lot of cool ideas that we've had come through the studio with the finalists, and it's cool to me to see what people want to do, and they need that one hand up, that one that
confidence,
that one last boost over the wall to make it happen. That's kind of cool stuff.
Absolutely.
So you stopped listening 5 minutes ago.
No, just to you. Just to you. Just to Dave.
All right, so we are bouncing up against a break. We should. So it's Hatch Detroit and tour-de-detroit.org. Check that out. I feel like we should register for the Paczki run. And then we should go to this.
No, don't register. We'll give you 2 free. If I can see you run, I'll give you.
No. Let me finish my sentence. We should register for the Paczki run. No, we should register for the run, hit the starting line, and then immediately go walk to the finish line.
In 15 minutes, walk up winded. Oh my God, it's such a hard.
Well, dump a bottle of water in my head. Is there a bar between the start and the finish line?
There actually.
Because we can stop and do a couple shots, get winded.
Is there a bar?
Hamtramck.
Yeah, Hamtramck has more bars per
cabin.
There's
a bar across the street before you start. You
Perfect.
Go. There's more.
It's like
bars
Starbucks in Manhattan. That's bars.
That's our.
I guess if I know we're ready to go, but if the one thing I can say is that's what makes that run so awesome is that there's so many bars and so many restaurants and so many things all around that people are there all day. And they're just having a good time.
I'm like, how do you finish in 15 minutes? How do you not go, the bar, stop, half hour, bar.
And then he's at the bar before you are. So give him a, right?
And there it is.
We'll buy drinks for people that stop with us.
Look forward to hanging out. Finish the race in 8 hours, ate 14 Paczkis, and drank 47 beers. Who did that? This guy. So, hey, we're going to be joined in segment 3 and hopefully 4. Scott Kennedy talking all things Penguicon. Cannot wait. This is the IT and the D show, and we'll be right back.
IT and the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT and the D show.
ITintheD.com.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D show.
Welcome back. Segment 3, episode 128. This is the IT and the D show, and we are hanging out in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, always here with Dave the Geek. Nuri, the FNG, has 14 computer screens open.
Nuri, the FNG, is on call this month.
Oh.
I'm losing my geek cred while we're sitting here to him.
How many do you have open?
Just the one.
Find us online at ITintheD.com and follow us on all the socials that are all there. And by the way, we are IT and the D, and you just still
are not, even if we bought you a bottle of scotch on Thursday night
even
after
if
our event.
Oh, never mind.
We're not going there. We are not. Yeah, Dave says there he is. Who? You know who? Him. I want to. Dave's like, I'm dropping my card on the table and walking away. I go, don't be that guy. If you're going to do it right. So what does he do? Buys an entire bottle of Johnny Black and 8 glasses and drops it on the table.
No, I had the waiter bring it over. I wanted nothing. I was trying to be nice and mellow.
And then you find out he doesn't drink, which is amazing.
I trust no one who doesn't drink. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you.
It makes me even more skeptical.
That's the whole point. Can I have a beer with this person? Yes. Okay, then good. I like him.
That was kind of the foundation of IT and the D.
Can I eat a steak with this person? Oh. get.
Can I go to tofu dinner with him? Yes.
Tofurkey.
Oh, gross.
Umami.
Gross.
So speaking of being accepting of all people, let's go ahead and dive right into Penguicon. We have Scott Kennedy here. Scott's been on the show before. Penguicon, obviously, we've talked about before. We went last year. It was for Bob. It was eye-opening. For me, it was amazingly reinvigorating. It reconnected me with my geek roots as well as people that I hadn't seen in 15 years. The best story that I have from Penguicon is as I'm standing there yakking with people that literally I had not seen in 15 years, and I'm just like I'm in my element, in the zone, and out of the corner of my eye I see Bob just kind of sitting up against the wall, like sitting on a ledge, just kind of with his back up against a window, just kind of hanging out on his phone. And so I walked over and I'm like, dude, are you okay? Like, is everything all right? He's like, no, I'm good. I've just never quite seen you at this level before. Do your thing. These are your people.
which is saying a lot. Really.
And no one here likes me. I'm just going to sit here. No, because like at sales conferences, like the Type A guys hang out with the Type A guys, and we talk about Type A stuff.
Yeah.
And at Penguicon, it didn't work, and I didn't.
Oh no,
I didn't know.
It's an amazing mishmash of people. I mean,
the cross section of society that's at those.
I mean, the whole point though is that there's that merging of cultures. So you get huge tech people who have like somebody dressed in like some anime getup in the front row of their talk.
I hung out and did shots with a yip yip.
Right?
Were they yum 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 yum?
Yip, radio, TikTok.
but those people, they have other aspects of their life, right? They are tech people themselves. Yeah. So it's not just like you're trying to tell somebody what TCP/IP is or whatever. Right. It's just a great cross section.
It was outstanding because it did. I mean, so like I said, it started off as a Linux conference back in the day, hence the Penguin.
So originally, there's a classic sci-fi convention that actually just happened this past weekend called Confusion. And they've been around for like 40 years. And some people who were Linux people went there and they were like, hey, we met some tech people here. Like, we seem like we could learn from each other and have like a cool mashup. And so they started Penguicon with this idea that it was to represent open source software and represent a sci-fi convention at the same time, right? And over the years, that has grown and grown, and so we now cover open source software, open source hardware. We cover DIY stuff, so people learn how to solder their own badges.
Oh yeah, you're building a router this year. You're going to teach people how to build a router. I hear.
Well, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. But
the learning tracks, I've never seen a conference with more learning tracks than this one in my entire life.
500 and some odd hours of programming?
Yes, there's approximately, it depends on the year, but there's anywhere between 450 and 500 hours of programming. Last year we had 100 hours in our tech track alone, which means that if all you wanted to do was go to a tech conference, you
still couldn't get to it all,
and you could not get to it all.
you still couldn't get to it all,
and you would still miss out on things that you wanted to go see.
And I'm going to talk shit about traditional tech conferences too. You go to any tech conference that is thrown by a vendor.
Well, and so I guess let's get the backstory to the backstory. So we met Nuri because Nuri was the chair last year. Scott is the chair this year. We met Nuri last year at Penguicon, and like seriously, it had such an eye-opening, amazing experience. We're like, dude, you have got to come play with us more. Like that's how Nuri came into the fold.
So Scott, tell me, what things did I do as contra that totally pissed you off? Go ahead. All ears.
Is this mic on?
You're the chair.
This year it is. That's right. No,
you don't have to answer that. I'm just kidding.
Nuri and I have a great friendship where we can kind of bust out on this con. We've been working together on it for the past 3 years, and it's been awesome. Anytime one of us sort of flags where you're like, wow, there's so much work that goes into putting on a community-run nonprofit convention that has 1,500 people going to it. It gets overwhelming at times.
Well, I guess that's a key point. Number one, nonprofit organization.
Absolutely.
Number two, completely community run.
No one makes a penny.
There's no PR firm behind this. There's no store owner behind this one.
No pigeons.
Yeah, there's no pigeons swooping in from out of town, collecting a bunch of money and shitting all over the thing, and then flying away to the next city. You guys are here doing this. I mean, obviously among other things, but I mean, it's...
The idea is that everybody contributes, right? So all of our staff, they may pay like a staff rate, but they still pay to come. You know, our board pays as much as anybody else pays
because they do about that much work.
Zing. And like our guests of honor, we had a guest of honor last year who was a big tech guy, Raul Balkan.
Yep.
He made he's working on Indie, an alternative to Facebook, basically. And he said, "Hey, my usual rate is X number of thousands of dollars. I expect business class flight. I need this kind of like microphone, blah blah blah." And we said, "Hey, here's what we're about." And he was like, "You guys are awesome.
How about $0 and $0 a month for a really long time?"
Right. That kind of thing happens all the time. That's why you can go into the bar and you can talk to somebody who at another conference maybe they would have like a line of security or something like that.
And want $60 for your autograph and $20 to get into the presentation.
Exactly.
No.
And that is not something that happens at Penguicon. You cannot, unless you're going into our makerspace and you're going to come out with an LED circuit board that you made yourself.
Or an RFID chip implanted under your skin.
Right.
People did that last year.
And they're coming back. So unless you're doing something where you are leaving with a component, you pay nothing extra.
Yeah, you don't let people charge for autographs. You don't.
No,
it's
exactly.
That's part of the shtick. Bob and I have been Motor City Comic Con addicts. We go and you bring a stack of 20s because you just know that it's all right. I'm going to go meet this guy. It's $20. It's
not anymore.
Oh yeah, now at Lou Ferrigno, kiss my ass, $60 for that
stacks of 50s.
Yeah, so but it's 20 here, 20 there. But that was one of to me that was one of the coolest things about Penguicon is that if all of the guests there were guests there. It didn't matter what little thing it said on your badge. Everybody played the same in the sandbox.
Yep. And, our guests of honor come back all the time and we say to them, you can do programming. We'd love to have you do programming, but you don't have to. And some goes come back and they just experience the con because they love being there.
And then we said we want more. And then so they gave us more.
So last year was the first year we go, and we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. I had always heard about Penguicon, and for whatever reason, all the multitude of reasons that every excuse that people come up with in their adult lives had never made it there.
And I never heard of a Westin saying it's okay to have an entire party floor.
Oh yeah,
I
didn't
even know that. Oh yeah, we'll get to the after parties later. But it was amazing. I mean, we got there and we thought we were doing good. We bring 5 kegs from Falling Down, and we bring a case of booze from Valentine
and a Bluetooth speaker. Woo!
Yeah, and we thought we were the shit. And then there are people that have turned their suites into New York City discos.
Yeah.
Holy crap! I'm back.
Not to mention you're competing with our own hospitality suite,
right?
Which
is where we left the beer.
Sure. Well, we spend more money on our hospitality suite than probably all of the other conventions in Michigan because we want to make sure that anything that comes into us comes back to our attendees. So, for instance, this year, thanks to Nuri, we have a nice budget, and we're spending it on making sure there are projectors and sound in all of our event space so that anybody who wants to bring a slideshow or a video or whatever can do that and then can provide that to our attendees afterwards if they want.
Well, and so I mentioned, and you missed this, so our Thursday night event, we actually had a couple companies that showed up at Firebird that we started yakking with about Penguicon. And so we were like, hey, there's this thing that with you want the me's of the world, but even more hardcore. That's where you go, and that's where your dollars go. Oh, all right. Tell us more. So we've got emails are already. We're gonna because I mean that's us. It's us. Again, we're physically incapable of half-assing things. So when we say we're all in, we're all in.
Well, that's what I think the best part is. The best part about the whole thing is these party rooms that you walk in and it was like you're on the set of Dexter. It's like the saran wrap floors were like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I'm in Lethal Weapon 2. I'm looking for somebody with a gun that's going to wax my ass.
As long as somebody's not talking to you about Hugh Lewis in the news, you're fine.
Right.
You know, it's really funny, too. We had a room party a couple years ago who put down that carpet plastic. And basically you can buy these gigantic rolls of sticky plastic that's like 3 or 4 millimeters thick. So you've got hundreds of people coming through your room. It's going to bring a lot of traffic, and you don't want to mess up the floor. Someone spills a drink.
Right.
They pull up the carpet. And there was this big black spot. I'm like, what the hell is that? And they're like, oh, that's where the plastic wasn't on the – no, what did they say? Basically, the plastic left the carpet more clean than that was the room before they were in there.
Oh, nice.
So it's like that's –
it's like a Bureau Poor Perfect strip for carpeting, basically.
pulls the blackheads right out.
Right.
No, we have really good relationships with our hotel since because we really we do them right.
Well, all the hotel employees were dressing up like Star Trek, Star Wars.
Oh, could not have had better. Again, Motor City Comic Con, the people that are there, or even other cons. I don't want to keep singling them up, but like other cons, you go, the people that are there and walking around, it's like that. You can tell it's their job. And I'm here on a Saturday and kiss my ass and whatever you need. Yeah, I'll get to you when I get to you. The people at the bar in the restaurant. 80% of them were in costumes.
Our tech guy for the hotel was there dressed as Doctor Who, and he was stoked about it. He was there the whole weekend, even times he wasn't working. And we have people – this was our second year the past year, and it'll be our third year in the same hotel coming up. And we have people who will tell their bosses, I definitely want to work on this weekend. And we think that's because we have a family of attendees. We have a really cool culture, of people who look out for each other and who treat the hotel well.
Well,
it just shows. It shows.
Last year, when I left last year, I don't want to say I was like it kind of changed, I don't want to say emotional because she'll freaking destroy me.
No, dude. No. I was completely. This one time you get a free pass.
All right, I was completely. I completely got hit with a baseball bat, of emotion because, again, I don't want to say I live in a bubble because I thought I wasn't but I met so many people in so many different walks of life that that felt like they were home there. Right? It was such a cool thing to be a part of. Whereas no one felt awkward.
Right.
Except for the girl dressed up
for you.
Except for the girl dressed up as the Scarlet
Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah.
They handed it to you.
Well, she was from the movie company, so that was the only one.
Well,
they were giving out posters and stuff like that.
But I said, I used the Family Guy line, what's your special power? Kicking. She's like. She ran away. I just farted on her.
She wanted to kick Bob.
Yeah, she was not a Penguicon. She was a rep. So, but you found the only rep that's there, right?
Right.
So,
no, but I mean that it is. I mean, and that's how I put it in my recap. And the recaps are linked in the blast about today's show and everything. But that was coming home for me because I realized I used to be the hardcore geek. I used to run a huge Star Wars website, and I was the sysadmin that dare not be messed with. And
you came to Michigan because you met your first wife on a Star Wars message forum
on CompuServe.
Right, let's not pretend for crying out loud.
Which is also how I met Ferret.
Right.
But I mean, so that. But that weekend hammered home for me. It's okay for me to still be that guy.
Right.
I get it, my day job, I'm basically the master of Visio. I don't know when that happened, but I went from writing code to doing Visio diagrams, and that's just my life now. But that's okay because it's, again, the multiple facets of the personalities.
Right.
You can be that guy during the day, but be this person at the after party.
If you ever look at we have a YouTube video that if you just search what is Penguicon.
What is
Yep.
Right? Great video.
Then you get this video, and we have this guy in there who says basically exactly what you're saying. He's like, so I'm a programmer, and I do these other things, and I'm just one thing at a time. But when I'm here, I feel comfortable to be all of those things. Whatever comes up, there's something here for me.
You don't have to figure out, God, what was it? The stupid... was it the Transformers that had the little the red guys with the flipping heads, and they were the good, the evil, and the whatever. You don't
robots.
Maybe you don't have to worry about which Manny faces. I don't know from He-Man. You don't have to worry about which persona you need to be for that event. You can just be you, and it's okay to be the amalgamation of you.
That's why we thought it was funny that like me and you, who've been with the same women for over 15 years, got asked to be on the panel for Flirting for Geeks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, which actually was outstanding.
Because want to do that again this year?
Oh, absolutely. Right.
Yeah. Wow, that was in stereo.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, because the best – I love telling this story. So we do that panel. We walk outside of that room, and this stunning girl walks up to us outside the room and says, hey, the after party up in our room, here's our room number, I'm going to get naked and lit on fire later. Do you guys want to come?
That is Flirting for Geeks right there. That's it. Done.
We're like,
I'm in.
Yeah. The smell of burnt hair haunts me to this day.
So, so here's the thing. We've got like our tech tracks, our DIY tracks, et cetera. We also have our life track, so people, can learn all sorts of things about homesteading and stuff. Then we have our After Dark track, which is 18 plus, and all sorts of fun things happen there, and I mean, we're very careful to make sure that all spaces are sort of consensual spaces. Right. That people know what they're getting into.
So I want to touch on consent in a sec, but like I was floored.
Never heard that word before Penguicon.
The amount of people that we had at our 10 Commandments of Networking, and and that the stuff. I'll be honest. Like when we signed up for it, I was like, we'll get like 5 people. Dude, we had a full room. Mm-hmm. And they all had questions, and they all like joined our LinkedIn group after, and they've all did a lot, and they've all like kept in touch and showed up at our events. Dude, we just had a guy Thursday night that it took him 9 months, but he finally made it to one of our events after Penguicon. He's like, yeah, I found you guys at Penguicon, and you were great. No. Like that's the cool stuff. But so doubling back on that though, like that's the one thing that you guys stress so hard is consent. And it's like that's something that like I'm not going to lie, like we take for granted. Like that's just how it should be.
I want a red sticker on my badge this year, by the way.
You get no red sticker.
Don't talk to me. Don't even look at
me. Yeah.
But no, I mean because it is such a weird amalgamation of people. You get the people that aren't comfortable talking with folks, but yet might be dressed up in an outfit that's like, hi there.
Right. And they might be dressed up that way because they are really into that character.
That's their favorite character.
It might not be anything about trying to show off for the guys or the girls or whatever. One of the things that was mentioned was the red sticker. So last year, and I'm sure this year, we have these engagement stickers, which are like red, yellow, and green, and they're to help people who maybe they're a little reluctant to talk to people they don't know, or they are having a hard time, for whatever reason, and don't feel like talking at all. They can swap out. They can just put a little sticker on their badge that says, "Hey, if you don't know me, then let's not talk." Or you can use a green sticker and be like, I am open to conversations. I
think we had like 4
people.
Green stickers on ours.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
One guy
my
made,
nipples, I did.
One guy made his own green sticker that was like 6 inches large. So clearly, that's what we have there. But that's just sort of one aspect of it. We all take for granted that our understanding is the same understanding as everybody else.
Right.
And one of the things that Penguicon does is we try to make clear, like, here is the way that our community works. Here is how consent we expect consent to happen. Like, if you're going to take a photo of an individual person, ask them first. Like, it's just being decent and not assuming that somebody else wants.
Well, of course you'd want to have your picture posted on my Facebook wall.
Right. Yeah. And that's part of, I went to a really cool panel at another convention, and that's part of what happens when you come home somewhere is you start to feel completely relaxed, and then you assume that the things that you might do at home might be comfortable there. And that can be true in many ways.
Right.
But how you interact with people still needs to be something that people talk about. And the Flirting for Geeks panel is one of the ways that we do it in a positive way, where instead of saying, don't do this, we say, hey, if you want to talk to somebody and have a good time and convince somebody to keep talking with you, here's a way to do that that's respectful, and here are the things that you might want to avoid, or body language that you might want to notice. And we get people all the time who come up after the flirting panel and say, thank you so much. All I needed was basically a set of rules.
It went really well.
Well, Scott, that was the thing I always, when we do the networking thing, I said, for the introverts in the crowd, I said, you got to understand something. You have anxiety. I have anxiety.
Right.
Right? Mine's different. Mm-hmm. You have anxiety to talk to one person. I have anxiety. How am I going to talk to all of these people in 25 minutes?
Right.
Right. So don't think that you're alone in this game. Right. That was kind of my play. Like, even though I'm like, the classic type A sales guy, I'm still, in a panic when I go in these rooms.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I love about Penguicon, and it makes it feel like a safe space for a ton of people who otherwise wouldn't come out. Tech people who really like to participate in those programs, but maybe they feel like people are going to look at them funny or whatever.
Oh, we have no idea what
Right?
what attendees with social anxiety is like at all.
Right.
None.
So, our panelists are oftentimes people who have their own social anxiety, but put it aside to talk about something they're passionate about, whether it's tech related or making your own cheese or making a costume or
making your own costume made out of cheese.
Oh, I don't want to think about that.
There was like things on like stick fighting and stuff. There was like the crazy.
Oh, shillelagh fighting.
Just looking through the track, it was crazy. But hey,
martial arts.
How about we take a quick break? We come back. We finish up the show with talking all things Penguicon.
Okay.
Scott, hang tight. We'll be back with you right after the break. This is the IT and the D show, and we'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hey guys, it's Time Hawk. Bruce.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D show.
Welcome back, segment 4, episode 128. I can't believe we made it this far. This is the IT and the D show.
That's right. We are now 112 episodes past where you thought we would be done and have nothing to talk about.
Indeed.
And hate each other.
Indeed. We are...
We're at least one out of 3.
We are sitting here in Podcast Detroit, beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, always here with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find us online, ITintheD.com. Like I said, I know it's a month away, but February 18th, we're going to be at the Hamlin Corner in Royal Oak. A pretty cool venue. Had a great event last year, and look forward to. What's crazy? Speaking of that, we just ended. You know how we run odd fiscal quarters,
right?
We're on the second half of the year, so now we're in like Q3 right now. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it just feels like it. It's rushed because we end our fiscal July 31st. So like, it's just awkward. Like, half the year's already gone. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I know, right?
Crazy.
Getting old.
So, but speaking of deadlines and things come up, I want to double back. I want to dive back into Penguicon because you have some deadlines.
We sure do. So at the end of the month, well, first of all, if you're registering for Penguicon, the price goes up at the end of this month. So now is a prime time to get your hotel room and get your badge and be all set for that.
So if you hear this at home and you're like, oh, holy crap, Penguicon is so awesome, I have to go. It's got to cost a ton of money, right? How much is it right now if you register by the end of the month?
$45, I think.
Yep.
$45.
Yeah.
Do you spend more than that going to like Applebee's for dinner?
It's for the weekend.
All weekend long. It includes, snacks and drinks in our hospitality suite.
Which includes free beer, like all you can drink in the hospitality suite.
And trust me when I tell you, get a room.
Yes.
You do not want to leave the hotel. Yeah. All the programming is awesome. I have the list of last year's in front of me. We're going to go ahead and shoot that out. But it's the after parties. Like, we had so many great conversations in the hallways, in rooms, and all that stuff. After, you don't want to leave.
So people who come to us and they're like, "Oh, we'd like to get like a table to talk about something." We're like, don't get a table. Instead, get a room and throw a cool bash and talk to people about tech over a beer or food or whatever. And it does so much good.
Well, that was the thing. It was like, if you're on party floor, just like leave your door open and people will come in.
Yeah.
So we brought a case of Valentine vodka.
You made friends very quickly.
Yeah, and I had my little Bluetooth speaker, and I'm playing God knows what. And people just walk into my room and do a shot, and they'd leave. And it was just, in the beginning it was awkward. Then it became like, where is everybody? Why do more people come in my room?
Right? Yeah.
Like, look forward to it.
And then we went to other party rooms and understood why no one was coming to our party room because we did it wrong.
Because sometimes people have party rooms with DJs and lights and
I think I DJ'd a 2-hour set last year at Barclay.
You did?
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
80s party in our suite.
Wow.
No techno, 80s, no offense.
I'll be wearing the sideways ponytail. I won't. I don't have a ponytail.
Well, and not only so, I guess just to touch a little bit on what we're doing there. So we are Podcast Detroit, we should be done with our expansion, hopefully by then. For those who haven't read the announcement, we are already growing beyond our one studio that we have here.
Leon's getting larger.
We are moving downstairs next to Activate Gaming in a suite down there. We're taking that over, building out not one, not two, but 3 studios down there, expanding our partnership with Activate. And at Penguicon, so we should be done by then because this is supposed to be done in March. By the time the end of April rolls around and we show up we're bringing all of our remote gear with us. We're setting it up in the party suite, and we're kind of opening it up to anyone. Like, yes, we have told all of our shows, you should absolutely get your asses out and buy tickets and be there and do your thing. But we don't care if you're one of our shows or not.
That's awesome. Yeah, we had like 6 podcasts that did a podcast during the event last year.
Yeah.
So, it was really cool to hear that you wanted to set up a room and make it available to people to podcast from. I think that's awesome.
I just had an idea. So, talking about expanding partnerships with Activate, what does Activate do? Lots of cool video games. What goes over really well?
Guess what else is coming to our party suite, Nary?
Is it really?
One of the remote gaming units.
Oh, yes.
And
so that was the first one, this idea. But God, it's magic.
And then the other one will be somewhere in the hotel to be determined.
Awesome.
Possibly the hospitality suite.
Or the lobby. I'm sure we could probably talk to the hotel into it.
Wait, what?
The remote gaming units from Activate are coming with us.
An RGU for sure.
And we have a massive gaming thing that happens right in the main lobby where we have a ton of board games and tournaments and all that stuff if that's what you're into.
Go fish.
So what else as far as deadlines, Scott? So that's one of the deadlines.
That's one of the deadlines. We have 2 more. Coming up at the end of this month, we have a deadline for the call for proposals. That would be if you want to do an event, let us know. We have 2 forms up on our website. One is just to give us a suggestion. If you're like, I don't want to run it, but it sounds like it'd be cool, let us know.
It would be great if I could see someone doing this at Penguicon.
Our track heads are very diligent, and they'll hunt somebody down to try to do that. If, on the other hand, you're like, I would love to talk about this thing at Penguicon. Here's my proposal. Here are the people that I think should be on it, or I have room for other people. Please put other people on it. Then our, track heads will work with that and let people know in the coming months which proposals have been accepted. We always have a ton of really great content, and oftentimes it's really hard for us to pick what's going to be there. But this year we're actually really excited. We have even more event space than we had before. We talked to the hotel and we said, we are running out of room. We have so much cool shit. And they said, we have like 5 more rooms.
Have you seen this other area that we haven't let you into yet?
Exactly.
But last year you said you'd charge me for that area. Oh, don't worry.
Yeah. So that is at the end of this week. If we might possibly extend that for really cool stuff, but I would suggest you get in a proposal by the end of this week. We offer, of course, a discount for anybody who does that. And also, if you're just coming to present something really cool as a service to everybody, then oftentimes we can arrange something special for you rather than have you come in.
But for those, I bought us full price tickets because you should support. That's what we do.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. Those people that we say, oh, you're only coming in for one thing and you're leaving. Well, we'll just let you come in and do that. I would say probably 90% of the time they end up seeing what's going on and they end up getting a badge.
Awesome.
For those not in the know, I mean, when you say really cool, like.
Yeah.
Is there an idea of what really cool is to?
Well, as far as programming goes, you mean?
Well, like some guys sitting at home, listening, going, "Hey, I do this thing, and I don't know if they'd like it or not."
Okay, so
should I scroll through this quick and just read off some highlights?
Yeah. So there was like 14 tracks.
So we had the action adventure track last year, which covered everything from action photography. So, getting action shots suspended in midair,
falling out of a helicopter,
Yes. Close quarters combat.
That was shillelagh fighting.
That was no. Shillelagh fighting was something else, which was literally people. That was outstanding. Then you've got our favorite, the After Dark track.
Mm-hmm.
After Dark, it's 18 plus. If you happen to be into things like BDSM. It's there. Dating, safety.
What does that mean, Dave? What does that mean?
Bondage, discipline, sadomasochism. That's it. So if you're into chips, dips, chains,
I learned what polyamory.
really.
Yeah, right.
I don't have to ask. I was just seeing if Dave knew. That's all.
Chips, dips, chains, whips. Yeah. Everything I learned about BDSM, I learned from Weird Science, Kelly LeBrock.
Right.
We're not talking candle wax on the nipples or anything. Just, your average high school orgy. But no, so the Flirting for Geeks panel, like we already mentioned about, there's the anime track, which there's a lot of people in to anime, whether it's the characters or just watching, phenomenal stuff. Costuming, tons of people walking around in cosplay. One of the cooler things that was going on there is people that were like either A, making costumes that were there, B, showing people how to make costumes.
Yeah, we had like a build your own wings panel.
Yeah.
We have a panel that often happens in the costuming that is basically like, how do you go to Home Depot and come out with a costume? Which is frankly one of my specialties. So,
well, and
air duct,
also BDSM at Home Depot,
right? Well, and sewing 101.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to make a costume? Let's talk. From the and that was kind of one of from the beginners to the advanced.
Yep.
There we go. You've got the whole DIY track. Everything from God. I remember I sat in one about like GoPro and how to go through like how to mount your GoPro best on your helmet, your bike, your car, your this, your that to get the best angle, the best phenomenal kind of stuff.
How to repair old video game consoles, that kind of thing.
Yeah, in the film, food. God.
We have a liquid nitrogen ice cream throughout the entire weekend. So if you come in, oftentimes in the hospitality suite, we have an enormous 7-foot tall dewar filled with liquid nitrogen that off gases, and they'll pour in liquid nitrogen along with cream and sugar, whatever, and they'll stir it up real quick, and they'll have ice cream, and that ice cream often, with badge and ID,
may or may not be infused
alcoholic. You can't do that with regular ice cream, but you can if it's made with liquid nitrogen.
Quick shout out the Pwned Radio guys that just joined the network. They're listening, love what they're hearing. They want to play.
Awesome.
Sweet. Good.
Hey guys, welcome.
And then, like as you mentioned, gaming. The entire front lobby was full of everyone doing everything from the giant Jenga. What had to have been the hit of last year.
I had so much fun cutting that. Every time it fell and made this just crazy noise,
and it stopped everyone, and everyone in earshot yelled Jenga,
right?
Yeah, I made it, and then Scott fixed it because I did all these like really janky cuts, and Scott's like, "I'm going to go ahead and just kind of sand it down,
added some precision cutting,
take out the
Giant Connect 4. I think that's the new.
Plinko. Plinko.
Speaking of this, the Lansing Makers Network, I believe is the name of it, are talking about bringing giant games like Giant Connect 4. So we're talking with them. I mean, I imagine they'd be in the lobby somewhere, but enormous games. Yeah, we got it. Sure.
We need Plinko. Feel free to leverage us in those conversations if they would like some exposure.
Oh yeah,
we will have them on our show in exchange for showing up at Penguicon.
That is awesome. So
giant Plinko. A la The Price is Right back in those days. The life tracks, which we were a part of. We did the 10 Commandments of Networking, how not to suck at hunting for a job. Those, I did not expect those to go as well as they did at Penguicon, because everything we read and heard ahead of time said, we're going to be out of place, but we said we'd do it, so we do it. And we had full rooms. Mm-hmm. It stunned me that kind of stuff was going on.
Yeah, people get jobs at Penguicon all the time.
You've got a lit track. There were authors everywhere.
Last year, Cory Doctorow was there.
Yeah.
The year before, Ernie Klein was there, the guy who wrote Ready Player One and Armada. So
this year, one of our guests of honor is Ann Leckie, who wrote a book that won all of the sci-fi awards. It won the Hugo, the Nebula, and the Arthur C. Clarke, I think. And it's related to artificial intelligence, which is actually sort of our unofficial theme for this year.
Right.
So I'm super excited to see her. We have Catherine Valente, who has written a bunch of really awesome books, some young adult, some adult sci-fi. She has a really awesome one out right now called Radiance. So we have authors coming. We have a bunch of featured guests. Last year we had like 30 featured guests, and they're all very fascinating people, authors of all kinds. Yeah, so our lit track this year, we're kind of expanding it even more. We're working really hard on building a bookstore where authors who come to the convention can offer their books in our store that we will sell for them and then return the money to them, essentially.
Nice.
So we're working on that.
Which is really weird. We worked with a book vendor before who works at a lot of cons in the area, and he basically refused to carry Ernie Klein's books. He's like, it's been out for 2 years. I don't want to carry his book. I'm like, you should carry his book. And then Ernie offered to buy his own case of books and take them back home with him, and he's like, still not interested. I'm like, okay, well then we're not welcoming you back next year.
Yep.
Thanks for playing.
And we didn't.
And so what happens with Penguicon when something like that happens? We're like, well, why don't we do it?
Do it our effing selves.
So we had some people who said, I want to volunteer my entire time at Penguicon to staff this because I think it would be awesome. So we're doing that this year in Lit.
But yeah, God, and then, music. So much good, interesting, and in some cases weird, from my point of view, music.
So you don't like the chiptunes then, do you? Or do you like chiptunes?
No, but music and video gaming.
Yeah.
I remember there was the retro gaming with the N64 consoles and all that
absolutely.
stuff.
That'll be there. We have a guest of honor this year for our video gaming track who is a games narrative writer for BioWare and Ubisoft. So she worked on Mass Effect and Dragon Age, and it was everything I could do to not pick her brains over email as we were setting this up. I'm like, let's talk about Mass Effect story. I got opinions.
Well, and God, here's what we have to hunt down because, what are they doing now other than this? The guys.
The guy that wrote the E.T. game?
Yeah, the guys that were in the Showtime documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Atari. Yeah, we have to find them.
I want the stupid real-life Peter Griffin guy to follow me around in a con. Yeah, he won't return my emails.
Oh.
But no, I mean it is. I mean it's the last weekend of April, which is my birthday weekend. It's Bob's birthday weekend.
This is my birthday.
No confirmations this year, right?
Heaven help us all.
It's
no confirmations this year.
Confirmations.
So you had a confirmation you went to the next morning.
No. My daughter's confirmation was the next day. I stayed up. This is how much I loved both worlds. Stayed up until 5 a.m. at Penguicon, having fun, hanging out, partying. Slept for 2 hours. Still made it home by 8 a.m. For the confirmation.
And he stole my phone.
Your phone wound up in my shit. Let's be honest.
Right.
With a stop at Tim Hortons for muffins, donuts, and everything else to keep the rest of the house happy when I arrived.
That was amazing. By the way, I was like slow clap.
Nice.
No, because that was the phone debacle. I had to go. I couldn't. 2-factor authentication couldn't work in the business.
Yeah, you texted me or you emailed me. You're like, "Hey, Nerd, have you seen my phone?" I'm like, "No." I'll check lost and found.
I don't know if that sweat was because I was hungover or because I couldn't find my phone.
The flop sweat, yeah. So then my luggage started ringing. So yeah.
So our programming, we've got just a little bit of time left, and then in the next month. Currently, if you go to our site, our programming page says, here's our 2015 programming, what we did last year. In the next month, we're going to start solidifying our new programming for the year, and I'm so excited to see that come out.
Well, but I mean, that's a good, honestly, I skimmed through the highlights. Reading through the 2015 program guide will give people a good example of do whatever. That's the thing. If it's...
You want to know how to do 3D printed firearm technology? We did that last year.
I do. That's the part that I think people miss is that if you geek out about something, there is someone else at Penguicon that geeks out about that too.
Now, so that's our programming, right? The other deadline that we have is for our maker market. Now, our maker market is kind of like if you've ever been to like a sci-fi convention, they usually have a dealer room and they have like an artist alley. What we do is we say if you are a creator of any kind, whether it's technical or it's artistic or it's crafty, then apply to our maker market. We have an incredibly diverse group of makers, and our one rule is nothing for resale. So if you want to be a sponsor and be on our second floor and sell toys, then we can work with you there. But our main focus is the community of artists who have something that they want to sell to us. that's often nerdy or interesting or whatever. We have such diverse artists. Like we had a really cool nerdy porcelain woman who did this really stuff like a hacker snacks on like a pizza tray.
I remember that. Yep.
Porcelain. We had a body painter who would body paint. She body painted a Dalek.
I remember the girls walking around after that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was good. That was good.
Hotel restaurant's like, no, you're gonna have to put on some shoes and a shirt, maybe.
And
Right.
here's these Band-Aids.
Right? We had our cover letter. The cover of our souvenir book is done by this amazing woman named Tiffany Walker, who has
going
been
to be famous as hell.
She's going to be famous
probably
as hell,
tomorrow.
and she did these awesome sketches, these little tiny sketches of like Murray,
chibis.
Yeah, chibis.
Yeah, not
kind
chubbies.
of, kind of big-headed things,
I'd say I went tone low. Chiba Chiba? What?
Right? But she did one of me and she did one of Nuri, and they're just adorable. And painters
in my house
and
on the
all that
wall.
stuff. Yeah. So anyway, the Maker Market is this hallway just full of amazing artists. And
It was incredible last year.
So we encourage anybody who makes something and thinks they might be able to sell it, from little tiny drones. We had those, plus the RFID implants. We had that guy, right?
Weird.
Dude, watching that was the coolest thing ever.
Why would you opt in?
It was like a tornado. Like I'm in love. I will watch tornadoes all day long on Discovery Channel.
Right, sure.
I don't want to see one in real life.
yeah.
RFIDs, phenomenal to watch someone else get them. Not me.
You can unlock your house and your phone with just like waving your hand over it. Oh, so
no.
cool.
Yeah, I'm good.
You can feel motors.
Watch the X-Files opening again, Nuri.
It's a human conspiracy.
So that's at the end of this month. End of this month, we have a bunch of deadlines. If you want to present, get your presentation in.
Well, and laughably, as I found out, like all things lead, so it is penguicon.org, even the hotel reservations, because I was a moron and I was trying to just get the rooms booked through the hotel website because, well, it's the Southfield Westin, so why wouldn't you just go to the Southfield Westin to book the rooms? And so then I started hitting up Nuri going, asshole, why can I not book rooms?
And I'm like, asshole, go to the damn website.
Right? You know that we sell out that hotel every year, right?
So, well, silly me. I was not aware that all the rooms were blocked off and you could not book them. That you could only book them through the Penguicon.
So that's a good message, actually. So if you are interested in coming, book your hotel room now. You don't. Hotels don't take your money now. So if you don't have the money now, but you will later, or whatever,
like they'll take $1 now.
They'll take it.
That's
right.
it. It's $1.
Yeah, it's $1,
and then figure it out,
because you will run out of hotel rooms, and you will be at the Holiday Inn across the street, and you will not want to be there.
And there's an active Facebook group for Penguicon, and we saw this happen last year, where there are people that by like early March are like, crap, I didn't book a room.
Yeah.
Crash with me.
Yeah, does someone have one? I can
from last week where you can like share a hotel room with friends,
or with strangers.
Or with strangers.
But that's why a lot of your legs on your side of the bed.com.
A lot of good stories start that way, though.
Yeah.
But no, so, I mean, it is. I mean, it's the conference is the convention is at the end of April. It's going to be so much.
If you're not sure, get a day pass. We do day passes, and you will go back to operations, and you'll be like,
I need to upgrade.
I need to upgrade. Absolutely.
Victoria can't wait to go. You could see it in her eyes.
I actually just bought it right now.
See?
That's what I was doing.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm excited.
That is awesome.
Ding, ding, ding. So
That's
awesome.
so awesome.
Sold.
And Bob just signed up for the Paczki run, too. I saw him do it.
And we did. We have, and I see, again, lesson learned from last year.
Yeah.
We have so many ribbons to go out this year.
Oh yeah.
We have all the ribbons because
those are open too. Yeah.
I didn't understand. Like we didn't when I saw the thing with the badges for the ribbons. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then we got there and I saw them and we didn't have ribbons. I was sad.
People start with a ribbon that says presenter, and then by the end of the weekend, they've got ribbons down to the floor that say things that you would not believe.
My badge was down to my freaking ankle by the end of the weekend. Like when I got home, my kids were like, "Where the hell did you go?" I was like, I was at a sci-fi convention and I had fun. She's like, well, and then my daughter started reading them all, and she's like, "Daddy, what?" I'm like, just skip past that one.
You don't want to know that one.
But hey, we're going to wrap things up for this episode. We could probably talk until 4 in the morning. I know.
We could.
What? No part 5?
No. No.
So, all right, so let's wrap things up. So, Penguicon, everything is at penguicon.org. That includes all of the hotel registration, the submission for events, and seriously, people, if you want to get your name in front of some of the best goddamn people that are in this area, this is the event that you want to do it at. Like, again, like, no offense to other cons and all that other nonsense, but like, this is a seriously unique group of individuals that comes and hang out at this thing, and you need to be there.
Where we do really, really cool shit in a really irreverent way. So genuinely good technical programming.
I'm sorry, how many 3D printed hands for kids happened last year?
Somewhere around 80.
Yeah. Because
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Seriously.
The charity gives them out both across the U.S. and across the world to people who have had landmine accidents and people who just can't afford a limb for their child because they'll outgrow it.
No, think about that. The kid gets crappy rubber hand, gets made fun of, shows up with Darth Vader's arm, and it's like you're the coolest kid in school.
Right? If you've seen that Iron Man video with Robert Downey Jr., the guy who made that was the guy who was our guest of honor last year. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, and Victoria, Hatch Detroit is at?
We're at hatchdetroit.com, and we are hosting the Lions, doing a free pour at Always Brewing between 8 and 10 a.m.
That's too early for us.
On Wednesday.
That's really
Punchki run, though.
Oh, but it's not a Wednesday. It's the weekday. We should be awake by then.
February 6th.
Punchki
and
run.
you can, and you can still sign up now. Detroit.
I think we have to be there.
No, I'll be there.
You do have to be there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I think you have to be there now.
I promise.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You've heard it
All
here.
right, so this was episode 128. Wow. Of ITintheD. You can find us at ITintheD.com. We are ITintheD, all of the things, whether it's at or slash or schwa or
the
whatever.
ghost thingy.
I said the umlauts, whatever. But yeah, so God, wrapping. This is crazy. And then we have an event on February 18th. At Hamlin Corner. That'll be our next in-person networking event. Of course, we have a couple of episodes of this between now and then. But you've heard everything you needed to hear. So, Bob, do your thing.
So drink up your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. Drive careful. Beat it.
Beat it.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Long live Flash! You've saved your life. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy.
Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. It's game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Rude.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe, own the truth.
Bear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right.
Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up.
Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Yeah. Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.